Very good evening. Welcome to day two. So today's session is very most important and it is practical sessions we will do. This video, how to create Linux machine. So that we will be explain how to create Linux machine. So as I told you, we have a different type of Linux flavors are there, Linux distributions. So generally, nowadays in 2025, if your career path, you want to become as a DevOps engineer, you want to become as a cloud administrator. So must and should Linux is you need to learn. So generally in the cloud and cloud DevOps, Ubuntu operating system is a very familiar and important. So for that reason, and in this video, I'm going to explain how to create a Ubuntu mission. So the Ubuntu operating system I'm deploying in the cloud services. So presently I'm offering AWS Lab for you. This AWS Lab, you can connect and you can practice. So whoever in your WhatsApp groups, you can stay back on the WhatsApp group itself. So daily, we will give the lab access from tomorrow. So lab will be available morning 10 o'clock to evening 7 o'clock. So you will get the lab credentials every 3 hours once. You can log in and you can practice yourself. Okay. So you don't spend your money, you don't spend your lab, anything. Use your just laptop and we will give the AWS credentials and you can log in and you can create the Ubuntu machines and practice the Linux administration commands. Everybody's makes sense, right? It's clear. So now, generally, if you need a mission, so suppose if the Ubuntu machine is created, the Ubuntu machine is created with a multiple components, right? Generally, even in a physical machine, if you want to build, we need a RAM, we need a CPU, hard disk, network, motherboard peripherals, power controls. So much of things are available. Correct. Operating system. Generally, when we creating a machine in the cloud services, okay, that machine we called as virtual machine. So you can create any operating system in the cloud we called as virtual machine. So generally in layman terminology, we called as software computer. In layman terminology, we called as software computer or virtual machines. So that means the machine will be running behind behind it, so hypervisor is available. So listen carefully. I will explain what are the components we are using to create Ubuntu. First, theoretically, then I will explain the lab part. Suppose I'm creating the Ubuntu machine. I need a operating system, Ubuntu. So generally, we will download the software and install it in the physical machine. Because if it is a virtual machine, so we are not installing it. We just take the operating system and directly creating the machine. So this AWS environment is offering different types of operating systems. Now we are taking one operating system from this list, like Amazon Linux, Mac, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, SUSE, Debian, like that. Maybe you can raise your question. Rajesh, yesterday you explained about 40 plus Linux machines are there. Is Amazon is offering all the 40 Linux operating systems? Good question. But the answer is AWS is not offering all the Linux operating systems because very, very few related Linux operating systems only they have sponsored. That is Amazon Linux, Mac Linux, Ubuntu Linux, RHA Linux, SUSE Linux, Debian Linux. Only these Linux operating systems are offering by Amazon. No other Linux operating systems is not sponsored by Amazon company. So we will take one operating system from Amazon. So these operating systems are managing by a service, a component called AMI. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. Amazon Machine Image. Perfect. So now it taking the image from AMI based on your requirement. I am creating Ubuntu AMI we are taking here. Perfect. Then next, to run this operating system, I need a RAM, memory, CPU. So RAM and CPU will offer to this virtual machine in Amazon. There's a component called instance type. Instance type. So instance type is a component in Amazon will offering that some amount of RAM, some amount of CPU to the virtual machine. So low-end configuration to high-end configurations are there. Just like I'm going to Raymond showroom, I need a blazer. So I just ask that. First they'll ask you, sir, which color you want? I'll just like a gray suit. So then next question is, sir, what is your size of the suit? You need a S, small, M, medium, L, large, XL, extra large, like that. Same way, RAM and CPU, based on the low-end configuration to high-end configuration, the categories are managed by instance type. Instance type. So now, based on your requirement, you will select a small, medium, or large instance type, and you will select the virtual machine. Next, we need a password to log into the system, secured, right? So password who will provide? Key pair. Key pair is a component, provide the security to the virtual machine, create the password, and with that you're able to logging the system. Key pair, the component called key pair. So next, the Ubuntu server is in public platform. Amazon is a public platform. Google is a public platform. Microsoft Azure is a public platform. Everybody is going and coming. What is the security? What is the security? So we need a firewall. We need a strong firewall is required to protect the incoming traffic, outgoing traffic with the operating system. So there is a firewall service is there. Okay. There is a firewall service is there. The firewall service name called as, okay, the firewall service name called as security group. Security group. Security group. AWS is offering the service name called security group. It is act as a firewall for the virtual machines in AWS, incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. Okay. Then next, this virtual machine wants to create, I need a storage. like a storage, hard disk space is required. So the hard disk space from Amazon Cloud Storage, the service name called EBS, Elastic Block Storage. Elastic Block Storage, that is a service which is offering the storage to the virtual machines in Amazon. You need a 10 GB, you need a 20 GB, you need a 50 GB, you need a 100 GB, 200, 500. Based on your requirement, you can use this EBS. Okay. Now, the server, where should I create? The server, where should I create? So, specifically, I want to create this virtual machine in one of the server in the data center. In one of the server in the data center. So, AWS global infrastructure, the data center is set up. Amazon, they set up the data center globally, worldwide, all continents, it covered with the big data centers they configured. See, we are here, a very, very small country, very, very small country. Okay. So in India, the two spots are there. So these are green spots are there. That means this is a data center. So one is in Hyderabad, one is in Mumbai. So other locations here, Hong Kong, Nixia, Beijing, Tokyo, Osaka, Seoul, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Jakarta, Sydney, Melbourne, Cape Town. So many locations, these data centers are configured. So Hyderabad is one region, Mumbai is one region, Europe, Stockholm is one region, Canada West is one region. So like that, every spot is one region, one place. But again, in that particular region, we have a data centers. In Hyderabad, 3 availability zones are there. See, Hyderabad, the data center was set up in 2022. Availability zones, 3. 3 data centers are there. Data center 1, data center 2, data center 3. So generally, AWS will follows a certain data center guidelines. The data center to data center with 80 to 100 kilometers of distance, with connecting with the high-speed internet cables. So such a way in one region they will set up. So now, how I create this virtual machine in specific region, how I can create. So I need to choose the region, and in the region, I need to select the specific network. In the network, so the data centers, suppose in Hyderabad, 3 data centers are there, availability zone A, availability zone B, availability zone C. Suppose this system is creating in the availability zone A. So what is this location? What is this location? Okay. So now there is a region. Yeah. Which is Hyderabad. Suppose Hyderabad. So in the Hyderabad, the network is managing for this virtual machine VPC, virtual private cloud, and in that public subnets to connect the networks so to the data centers. Suppose this machine is creating on the data center here. Such a way, this machine will get stored in the created in the specific data center in the region. So next, this machine, we are providing some name tags, that's the resources like instances, volume, network interface. With that, we are able to managing. So this is the way, this is the way the machines will be created in cloud data centers. You can take any cloud. So naming conventions are different, but process is same. Almost process is same. Is that clear now, everyone? So let's create the virtual machine in Amazon data center, Amazon cloud. So Amazon, if you want to access Amazon credentials is required, don't worry. So wherever you are in the WhatsApp group, so anybody will share the credentials, okay, team members, so you can connect there. So let me connect to the lab. You can see here. This is the way details we will provide. You can connect and you can practice the lab. So first you have to take the web link. This is a IAM sign-in link. Just paste it on the browser. Copy the username. And password. So now I successfully logged into Amazon Cloud. Now I'm going to create a Linux machine. So click on Apps Services, Compute section, EC2. EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud. So now here we can create a virtual machines and you can manage. So generally you can take North Virginia or Oregon. So do not select any other locations. Okay. So our location is only for practice, North Virginia. Okay, North Virginia. Click Launch Instance. And now, few details you need to provide. You can look at here. Few details we need to provide. Name, application and OS image, instance type, key pair, network settings, configure storage, advanced details, and summary. Summary. I just hide everything. So one by one, I'll explain. So first, name and tag. So name and tag. Suppose, and you want to create the missions in specific locations. Okay. So we will follow some nomenclature, naming culture. Suppose this server is running in North Virginia. So we will give that name is NV. So North Virginia. So next, I'm going to create a Ubuntu server. Okay. UB, Ubuntu, or maybe UBT. Suppose this server I created for a web server, I can give the name like web. Maybe this is a first server or second server or third server. I can give the number with the 2 digits or 3 digits like that. So such a way the naming conventions we will be provided in the real-time environment. So that you can easily understand that, okay, this machine is here in this location. This is a Linux machine. This is a web server. You can easily understand. Next, AMI, Amazon Machine Image. This is the Amazon Machine Image. We need to select the which operating system you want. Expand, Linux, Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE Linux, Debian. I need Ubuntu. Just select here. So even in this Ubuntu, we have a different types of versions are there. So choose which one you want. So by default, it will be selecting Ubuntu Server 2404 LTS, long-term service package, and free tab. This is a free lab, so you can use the free tab. So there's no charges. Free tab you can use it. So we selected the AMI. Ubuntu AMI we have selected. Next, instance type. Next is instance type. RAM and CPU I need to select. So by default, it's a T2 micro is there. T2 micro, 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM is available. It's a free eligible. So guys, in our lab, we offering some paid lab also. You can select the T3 medium. T3 medium you can select 2 CPUs and 4 GB RAM for best practices. For best practices, we can take here. So now instance type is over. Next, key pair. Key pair, create a new key pair and provide the name. So name basically can take the same computer name, the server name, and followed by key pair so that we can easily understand this is a key pair for the particular server. So there are two types of key pair formats are there, RSA and ED. So we generally use the RSA, PEM or PPK. Suppose if your system, your base system is Linux, you can use PEM. If your base system is Windows, from that Windows you are trying to connect Linux machines by using PuTTY, you can choose PPK. So my system is Windows. I generally preferable select for the PPK. and now create the key pair. I just stored this some location in my system. So key pair is ready now. Next, network settings. The network settings, I generally take the default VPC and the firewall section. That means this firewall sections by default existing security group will be available. Here I will take here default security group. I will take it. So maybe you can ask one question. Hey Rajesh, you said that uh, the machine will be created in specific availability zone. How it is possible to particularly I can create this machine on the availability zone A, availability zone B, and availability zone C. So there is an option edit. Here is a subnet, no preference is there. Once you click edit, the subnet preference is there. You can choose the which availability zone wants to. So basically in North Virginia locations, 5 data centers are there. Not five, I think six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 data centers are there. I'm going to create the machine in availability zone A. That means 1A. So the machine will create a specific data center. That's it. These are network settings. Then next, storage, EBS, elastic block storage. So this is a configured storage. By default, it is offering 8 GB minimum. Maximum based on your requirement, you can take it. So only increment is possible, decrement is not possible. So that's why I'll go with 8 GB. So that's it. Almost all the settings are configured. So advanced details now it is not required. So you please minimize it. And summary, how many missions you want? Hey, I need one mission. I need one mission. So maybe if you want, you can create a number of missions also based on your requirement. So my next question is, at a time in EC2, okay, how many, okay, virtual machines or instances can create, okay, in one time? That's the question. At a time in EC2, how many instances we can create? Anybody can answer it? So let's take this question, put it on the Google, and you can ask. So by default, you can launch up to 20 Amazon EC2 instance concurrently within single AWS region. Okay. So I'm creating only one mission. Okay. So click launch the instance. So guys, before I'm launching, anybody have any questions? Before I'm launching Linux mission, any questions, please?
No, sir.
And click launch instance. This will take few minutes, exactly 3 to 4 minutes, successfully creating the mission, and that's a sufficient time is required. How do you know the mission is successfully created? How do you know the mission is successfully created? See, This is a machine is creating and is a T3 medium and is initializing is going. Suppose if the machine is successfully created, this kind of green checks will come. So let's wait and see the machine will create or not. You can see here the machine is successfully created. Okay, this is a way Ubuntu Linux machine is creating in Amazon Cloud. Amazon Cloud. Thank you.